Hello Plastic Oceans team, heading off on the 23rd of April. Yes, this is slightly different from the Zoom call yesterday because my computer just decided to have a really good crash and all was lost. So, starting again, going through it all once more. Welcome. We are excited for your adventure, and the purpose of this recording is to get you organised and to get all your expectations aligned with what is to come. So, probably will natter on for about 15 minutes, and the topics we are going to cover today are your itinerary, your flights, money, phones, SIM cards, Wi-Fi, your kit list, your personal admin, and last but not least, and very important, parents especially, everybody listen up to the health and safety section right at the end. So, to kick off, your itinerary, okay? I've got it here. It's a goodie. You are all going to land in San Jose on that British Airways flight. Well, most of you are on that flight on Saturday the 23rd. Regardless of what flight you are on, you are all going to be met at the airport. You walk out of arrivals and there will be a lovely taxi waiting for you with the LEAP sign. So don't go wandering about. It will appear if it's not there, at the moment of you coming through. You're all going to be taken to the Rosa of America for your first night, which is a gorgeous suite. It's our base, basically, in San Jose. It's family run, really lovely and welcoming, and they do an awesome job. So even at the end, if you've got time in San Jose before your flight, that's where we always recommend everyone to stay. The following day, on Sunday the 24th, you will all move out to Santa Teresa. Brace yourself, it is a very long journey. So you'll be up very early, and you've got a bus that takes you down to the ferry, and then you've got the ferry crossing, and then you've got another bus on the other end to cross the peninsula to Santa Teresa. So I think I said San Jose earlier. It was Santa Teresa is where you're going on that first day. Your first 3 weeks are all going to be based at our camp in Santa Teresa. The first week is getting you acclimatized, because trust me, that can take a while. People can suffer from jet lag, dehydration, overcoming the humidity, and can feel really out of sorts. So the aim of the first week is to exhaust you with the surfing lessons so that you can really enjoy the environment that you're in. Santa Teresa is, just to kind of put you in the picture, it's a very cool, hippie, surf, stylish, people go there on retreats environment. It is very shishi, and just, yeah, it's gorgeous. You will love it, but it's really renowned for its surfing and yoga. So to make the most of the surfing, we need to get you kind of water safety aware and get you on the boards so that you can pick it up, go and hire boards at the weekends, from that moment on. In that first week, you will also start with your Spanish lessons. Now, these are very informal. So if any of you out there thinking, oh Lord, is it going to be like going back to school? No, I promise it really isn't. You're all going to be divvied up into groups of ability. So, don't be shy and sticking your hand up saying, actually, I know all this stuff. Can I, be with the other teacher, talking about, I don't know, Costa Rican politics if you're fluent, but there's always something to learn. So you'll be put in the right group. The second and third week, you will continue with your Spanish, but it will be a combination now of Plastic Ocean, projects that fall under the Plastic Ocean umbrella. Now, every day is going to be different. Some days you're going to be working at the recycling centre. Some days you're going to be doing a beach clear-up. Some days you're going to be working at the recycling points in Santa Teresa, painting signs, working for projects which are set up by this great company called Lego, which recycle plastics which you pick off the beach they melt them down and they make amazing household stylish things, from coasters to placemats to lampshades. They make bigger stuff. They use the plastic to create plastic bricks and make lifeguard towers. There's no end to their creativity. So for all of it, what we find really interesting, and what past sleepers have found interesting, is that these projects, they're not government run or government influence, they are just community based, local people seeing that Pacific Ocean is churning, throwing up plastic all day, every day onto their glorious beaches, and they are finding local initiatives to make a difference. So, you know, it is really interesting. But at the same time, in these weeks at Santa Rosa, you're going to go on gorgeous treks, you're going to go into the jungle, you're going to, you know, have time to watch the sun going down on the beaches. So I can't promise, no, so basically the message is no 2 days are the same. So, which everybody seems to enjoy. After that, you will then go to Serenus, which is an hour and a half up north for your first phase of turtle conservation. You will live in a volunteer house on the reserve, which is, it's going to be a little bit more basic than what you're used to in Santa Teresa at the camp, but you will love it. It's very isolated. It's a time to put down your phones, no Wi-Fi, and to just really breathe in the environment. Now, as you know, the official turtle season is not at this time of year, but I have been out in Costa Rica at this time of year and saw turtles. So with the global changes that go on, you never know what you're going to see. So, but there's always work to be done in these hatcheries, and these hatcheries, and the one you will see at ASVO later on, rely 100% on volunteer work. So you will see that your work is really, really invaluable. Also, working at these turtle sanctuaries, yes, it's, you know, if you see a turtle, a mother laying its eggs, or turtles hatching, yes, it is a magical moment. But it's also falling under the Plastic Ocean umbrella, because you see and you will learn in each place the threats to the turtles, how important they are, the life cycle of these turtles. You'll learn about the lost years of these turtles. They get born, these tiny things, and they shoot off into the sea for 20 years. They're alone, wandering about in their teenage years, called the lost years. So it's really interesting learning about all their ecology. After Serenus, you then move further up the coast to Samara. This is where the team gets split into two. Half of you go to ASVO, which is the second turtle sanctuary, which is your very remote, basic Robinson Crusoe experience. So if you thought Serenus was basic, this is even more basic, but everyone loves it. This is head torch on, strap up your mozzie nets, everyone's helping with the cooking. It's, you know, taking a shower with a kind of bucket and a baked bean can. You know, it's really, everyone loves this phase. Every group, you know, leaves it a better place, and you will see the kind of messages from the group before, hammocks that they've left. So it's turning into a very groovy little base camp. When you're at Samara, this is a time, because you won't have had a few weekends, for a bit of downtime, a little bit more surfing, a little bit of yoga, and of course, no location is the same without the odd beach cleanup. After that, you then head for your final phase. Oh no, it's not the second to final phase, which is Monteverde. This is the cloud forest. In you go, and it's eyes wide open, and you will just see some incredible wildlife. And this is the adventure capital of Costa Rica. So fully expect here to strap yourself into the most frightening zip wire across the jungle canopy. God forbid, don't know why people do it, but throw themselves off on the bungee jump. There's horse riding, there's going on coffee tours, there's masses to do. So every morning we will keep you busy with hikes, exploring. We've got a fantastic guide there called Eric, who knows the area inside out. He will take you through the jungle on these fantastic high hikes, you know, to watch the sun go down, where you can see, hopefully if it's a clear day, the Pacific and the Caribbean. You know, it's really special. But in the afternoons, that's your time where you can choose to do the adventure of your choice, or adventures of your choice. At the end, you will then drop back down to Santa Teresa to continue with a bit of Spanish, continue with your volunteering, to finish anything that you wanted to do, and most importantly, to celebrate the end of the 6-week trip. So in a nutshell, the itinerary is busy, it's fluid, dynamic, and full of contrast. So no 2 days are the same and no 2 weeks are the same, which everybody seems to love. So in addition to, so that's the itinerary. I now want to go through the accommodation in each place and the differences in what to expect, accommodation and food. When you're in Santa Teresa, okay, your breakfasts and your lunches are included, but suppers are out. Okay, now you can skin this in loads of different ways. Some people choose to just go and they go to the gorgeous town and they go to a restaurant every single night. But that, my friends, is the expensive option. Alternatively, you can go to the supermarket, and what the previous groups have done, they've done ready steady cook, and they take it in turns to kind of cook for the group, have kind of fancy dress nights, theme nights, you name it, they do it. So I don't want anyone saying I had to spend $25 a night on food. Okay, parents, you're hearing it from me. That is not necessary. Yes, Santa Teresa is shishi. Yes, you're going to have sushi bars, cocktail bars, and all these glorious stylish places, which of course everybody wants to go to. But at the same time, there are the cheaper options. So you have got to be savvy and not choose to head to the luxury options. At the weekends, it is downtime. Okay, it is for you to, go and hire the surfboards if that's what you want to do. But the team on the ground will suggest kind of weird, wonderful extra adventures that you can do, which of course are all optional extras. So listen to what the options are and then choose accordingly. You do not have to do everything. The most popular trips is the Tortuga Island trip, which is $75. Everybody loves that. You go off for a full day, snorkeling, seeing amazing marine life, having a kind of beautiful day on this island, barbecue lunch, Everyone loves that. The other thing that people do is they can sometimes go scuba diving if you've got your instruction and if you've already got your PADI. What else do they love to do? Oh, there's a bioluminescence tour. I think that's about $30 where you go at night to a particular place where you see that the sea completely sparkles. So those are the kind of the ones that everybody loves. When you are in Serenas, all your food is taken care of, and the accommodation there is, in the camp, you are staying at Chiquera Camp. Chiquera have been our partners for the last 20 years, and it is their home. You will see that over COVID, they have built lots more bungalows so they can take many more people because it's a really popular destination. They take other groups from Holland, from Germany, so you will see it's got a very international vibe. But every group is in their own bungalow, every group has their own team leader, so you do feel very team orientated. But of course, there's communal areas, there's a pool, there's a bar, there's the dining room, so everybody can mingle and meet each other. So it's fun, it's a very sociable place. At Serenas, the accommodation there, I touched on it earlier, it's the volunteer accommodation. It is stylish, but it's very basic. It's kind of wood with bunk beds with a few showers, delicious food, and it's a 10-minute walk again to the glorious beach, completely deserted. So it's got a very isolated feeling at Serenas. When you move to Samara, the accommodation there, it reverts to breakfast and lunch being provided, supper is extra. Samara is a much smaller beachside place. It's got more cafes, sand under your toes style cafes. It's much smaller. Asvo is the Robinson Crusoe experience, which I described earlier. When you're there, 3 meals a day are provided, but cooked by yours truly. Not me, but by the team. So, everyone loves that experience. Monteverde, you stay in a hostel accommodation like in Samara, and breakfast and lunch again is provided, supper is extra. Then when you move back to Santa Teresa, you're back in the Chiquera camp. Okay? So, The reason why I mention the food and the extra costs is it can add up. So you really got to set a budget and really try to stick to it. But you know, I'm telling you now, Costa Rica is expensive and the temptation out there is huge. You've got beautiful boutique shops, you know, in Santa Teresa. So you're just not to go in there. It's very simple. Most people on average spend an extra £150 to 200 a week, but that's 200 is on the high end. So anything kind of around 150 is pretty normal. Okay, so while we're on the money, okay, we've done the extra costs. How are you going to get the money out? We recommend take out $100 cash on you, just to have as a backup. If you kind of need something at the airport, but you will be taken to an ATM to get your money out. We recommend taking a Revolut or a Starling card. If you've got a Monzo, that's fine if you're going to travel on for the rest of Central America, but we have heard from past groups that Monzo is quite, some places it works and some places it doesn't, so we don't know why, but Revolut and Starling feel and sound more reliable. Phones, okay, please take 2 phones. The first phone will have everything on it and use that for Wi-Fi. Second phone is a backup, you know, called the burner phone, because you'll be amazed how many people lose, break, drop their phone into the ocean. There is Wi-Fi in every place I've mentioned apart from at Serenas. You can get phone reception there, but that is, you know, one of the kind of phone detox places. So use the Wi-Fi everywhere, but you can get a local SIM card, and we will show you how to do that on day 1. And if you've got the extra phone, that's very simple to pop it in. Kit list. Have a look in MyLeap, and the kit list is there for a reason. It is top tips from past leapers, what they have taken and what was useful. But please don't forget random things, you know, such obvious things like a hat and a refillable water bottle. Amazing how many people just don't take one. That is vital. But please have a look. Shoes. People can just think, oh, I'm just going to take my lovely Nike trainers, which I know you will wear out, you know, that type of thing in the evenings. I've got kids your age, and that's what everyone seems to wear. That's great, but you don't want to go trekking in the jungle with that, because they'll get ruined and wet and soggy and you'll be disappointed. So take a pair of trainers which have got a grippy sole that you don't care about, that can get trashed. One of the few of the past leapers in the last group, Birkenstocks and Crocs were awesome. They said Crocs was the most practical shoe that they could take with them, and they love them forever. We all know they're the ugliest shoe in the world, but apparently they work wonders in Costa Rica. Washing your clothes, that can easily be done in all venues. There is a facility to literally hand over kilos of washing for, I think, kind of $5 to $10 to get that back, or you can go to a local laundrette, or you can do it yourself. You know, it is all options available, so don't give that a second thought. And post. I'm telling you now, there is no post to Costa Rica. So please, 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 whatever you do, don't leave anything behind, especially things like your credit cards. I mean, honestly, you'll be amazed how many people do. Personal admin, money management, passport management, how are you going to do that? Please take photocopies of absolutely everything and leave it behind at home. All contact numbers, all email codes, you know, login codes, leave it all at home should something happens and parents need to assist with any of your admin. And the health form. In the MyLeap, we really need you to go in and fill in the health form. Please be honest with us, okay? We can deal with most things, but what we need to be aware of is everything, and to have the heads up before you arrive. So, and I'm talking everything from mental health issues to severe nut allergies, to the requirement of an EpiPen, to what else we had recently, people who type 1 diabetes. So just disclose all information. If you might think it's absolutely irrelevant to you, but it will be very relevant to us and to our guides. So please tell us. Everything is treated it's highly confidential. So I'm just going to look down. I think that is everything that I needed to touch on to get you organised. And now I'm going to touch on the health and safety section, which I want you to take very seriously, okay? So, health. We all know that COVID is still lurking. The COVID laws in Costa Rica are beginning to lighten up. Up until the 1st of April, it has been imperative to any public venue to show copies of your vaccinations. Some places don't care, but you've got to be prepared, especially going to banks, pharmacies, those types of places. They do want to see it. But that should be lightening up. But still, please take a copy of your COVID vaccinations printed out to have on your money belt just in case. COVID, in going through your itinerary, we can deal with COVID, but you still have to be aware that there still could be things that crop up. You could get COVID and need to be isolated. We will deal with that as and when it happens, how many people it has affected, and we will find solutions for you at the time, okay? We've dealt with this for over a year now, and we're pretty slick at doing that. But you've got to have the flexible mindset. You might not like the solution, but it might just be the best solution. If, for example, we need to put you into a hotel, because we're at Serenus and you can't go there, and we need to, you need to be somewhere else, then that's fine. We can do that, and we can look after you. That will be an extra cost, but it will be an insurable cost. So everything, we pretty much faced everything. The other thing that could go wrong with COVID is, which has just happened recently, is Serenus. They are open to the public. They take guests from all over the world. We've clearly booked your slot to go and stay with them. But what happened yesterday is they have got a COVID outbreak in there, and they're not letting people out and not letting people in for 5 days. So we've now got to be flexible and find, one of the groups a different turtle sanctuary. So keep flexible, okay? No one likes disappointment. No one likes changes, but I'm afraid we are still living in this weird and wonderful world where we have to keep nimble with our planning as we navigate the complexities of COVID and the gremlins that it can throw at us. When it comes to safety, we do our best. You are on a trip with us. Everything is risk assessed. Our leaders, but most importantly, our leaders and ground operators are privy to information, okay, that you might not want to hear, might not like, and might want to ignore. Okay, so listen to them, especially most of the accidents that happen at the Leap are accidents that happen in your free time when alcohol is involved late at night. Okay, so especially when you're at Santa Teresa, when the temptation is huge because there is one nightclub there, and occasionally they have these big swinging, dancing, kind of festival style parties that come into town, which of course everybody, there's big hype and everyone wants to go to. Please will you listen and respect the guide's advice at the time, okay? And if you don't, we will really have to get heavy-handed, which of course we don't. We're in this together, but you've got to listen, okay? Because they're going to tell you things at the time. If they have inside knowledge that this place is dodgy, it's not, it pulls in people from out of town that don't have the ethos of the Santa Teresa or Samara, then listen. Always go out at night in a buddy situation. Never when you're out late at night the overconsume of the alcohol, that's when you get vulnerable, that's when accidents happen, that's when bags get stolen, and that's when people can, be affected on a personal level too. So be careful. The buddy system is important in these busy places, and going to the loos, and walking back at night. You will have this drilled into you when you're over, and I'm just setting the tone now. So please listen. I know you've been hearing this from your parents, from your school teachers for the last several years, and you're sick to death of hearing it. But you're under our watch, and you are overseas, and people take bigger risks when they're overseas, and we just want you to please just listen to the guides and respect what they're saying. Okay? The last thing on health and safety is if you get COVID, everyone's all had COVID now, and yes, we will deal with it. But to me, the biggest threats, yes, is when you're drinking, but going out to the parties. Yes, if you take kind of risks in the sea and where water's involved, but weirdly, it's really simple things such as a cut, sore throats, the cuts, the mosquito bites, please don't itch them. If they get infected, hold on, someone trying to get through. If a mosquito bite gets infected, it will not heal by itself. You need to deal with it. So literally raise the alarm, talk to the guys, and you get given to the doctors. The doctors, the hospitals, the help, all the medical care in Costa Rica is absolutely fabulous. It's really, really good. So you could get absolutely everything from the chemists. It's not like going to Boots here. They're kind of doctor trained. They're really good at dealing with most things. And in Santa Teresa, we have a doctor on call at all times, to look after you. So that's it from me. I know I've waffled on. That's a long time, 27 minutes. Whew. So please, if you've got any questions before you go, give us a call. We're here to get you organised, and we're here to deliver a really fantastic experience. Over and out.